Hello and welcome to Raven's Arcana. I am Raven. Thank you for being here. And today we are going to go over the Kabbalistic Tree of Life and how it is associated with the suits of the tarot and also the 7 chakras. So if we're looking at the left-hand side of the image, we have the element of fire that represents the suit of wands. We have the element of water that represents the suit of cups. We have the element of air, which represents the suit of swords. And finally, the element of earth, which represents the suit of pentacles. Now, if we jump over to the far right of the image, we have the 7 chakras. Starting from the top, we have the crown chakra. Then we have the third eye chakra. We have the throat chakra. We have the heart chakra, the solar plexus chakra. My cats are insane upstairs. Apologize. And we have the sacral chakra, and finally the root chakra. Now, if we concentrate on the tree of life in the middle, and bear with me with the pronunciation of the Hebrew language, but starting from the top, we have Keter, which is being. So that is ultimate consciousness, connection to the collective, to the Akashic, to spirit. Going down to the right, we have Hokmah, which represents wisdom. Going over to the left-hand side, we have Binah, which represents understanding. And then if you noticed, going down further, we have Da'at. It is engraved for a reason. It is not part of the 10 sephirah. And Da'at means a state of perfection, the unity of the rest of the 10 all in one. It is not part of the 10 sephirah. It is engraved because it is hidden behind that. And that is ultimate balance, ultimate knowing, ultimate perfection. If we go down to the right from that, we have Chesed, which represents mercy. On the left of that, we have Gevurah, which represents strength. Stepping down in the middle once again, we have Tiferet, which represents beauty. Down to the right, from there, we have Netzach, which represents victory. Over to the left, we have Hod, which represents splendor. Stepping down in the middle once again, we have Yasod, which represents foundation. And finally, at the very bottom, we have Malkut, which represents kingdom. You'll also notice in the 10 sephirah that are sprinkled, we'll say, amongst the Kabbalistic tree of life, we have the Pentacles that represent Malkut and kingdom. So starting there, and we'll associate the 7 chakras with that as well. This is the earth element. This is the suit of Pentacles. So kingdom is going to reference the kingdom of earth. Everything physically that you can experience, acknowledge, touch, feel. And that also corresponds to your root chakra. What keeps you grounded? Now, going through and how we associate that with the suit of Pentacles and the element of earth and the root chakra is that the progression through the suit of Pentacles, you realize what your abilities are, what you are capable of, what blessings you came with in this existence to be productive. Everything that encompasses your physical body from appearance to the inside. Once again, to every little thing that you can use, your potential, your capabilities, and how we use those in this existence on this earth as physical beings. And that makes sense with the root chakra. We have to know all of that to stay grounded. We are spiritual beings, but we have to be grounded first. Now, I've seen the tree of life, and I've seen the swords and the cups switched around. I disagree with that representation, and you might understand why once we start moving up to the swords. So the swords are all about the mental experience in this life. And with foundation, we build a foundation upon within our physical self based on our abilities, based on that progression through the pinnacle suit. And we start to think about the world. We start to think about, in this instance, with the sacral chakra, what gives us pleasure, what we desire, what we want. And we start to think about those things. What fills us with joy, pleasure, feeds our desires. If we move up to splendor, now in this instance, splendor is not the magnificence of the self. We are starting to think about and realize that everything that we can experience is bigger than us. We are all connected. It's about humility as well. Knowing that you are a small drop in the ocean. Learning about that, learning that we are connected to everything that is bigger than us. The planet, the animals, the universe, the people, everything outside of us. And with our solar plexus chakra, and that strength and power in our gut, we start to realize that in that connection, we have work to do. We have to have willpower. We have to find the courage, the bravery, the strength to interact with everything that is bigger than us. If we move over to victory, it is about the small victories. It is about opportunities. The opportunity to succeed in whatever we decide to do, whatever we put our mind to. And that feeds into having to have that bravery, that courage, that willpower to get out, realize what we came into this life with our capabilities, with our gifts, and start to approach the world and start to do things. Now, if we move up to beauty, we get into the cups, the emotional, right? We have to have our mind balanced along with the realization that we came in with certain gifts, certain blessings, before we get into managing our emotions. Now, the heart chakra makes sense with beauty, with feeling. So we start to realize how we feel about the world, how we feel about society, how we feel about other people. We start finding that beauty in the world, and it feeds into our emotions, in our heart, which in turn, hopefully, comes out as compassion and love for things that are bigger than you, for things that are outside of yourself. Now, if we move over to strength, now we're talking about the throat chakra. And strength is also coupled with discipline. So once we realize the beauty, we think about it, now we're feeling the beauty of the world. We have to, with our emotions, balance those. We have to have the strength to keep our emotions in check. And with that throat chakra, how to emote, how to communicate with others, how to express ourselves. We express emotions, but we have to be disciplined. We cannot be volatile. If we move over to mercy, which could also be interpreted as kindness, are we kind to ourselves? Do we allow our emotions to bubble up? Do we attack people that have different ideas, that look different than us, that act different than us? Are we merciful? Do we help people? Do we use compassion in our expressions, in our communications, and think about everything holistically? Now that we have realized what we are made of, what we are capable of, we have thought about the things that we have come into contact that are bigger than ourselves. We've built that mental foundation. We've realized the divine existence and have humility. We know that we have opportunities. We've realized the beauty. We try to be disciplined with our emotions and how we communicate. And we are kind in the way we communicate to others and how we express ourselves. Then we start to take action. And if we move up to understanding, we start to gather knowledge. And using our third eye, our intuition, lucidity, we gather that knowledge and we start to understand it. We understand how we feel, how we think about it, how we can change things or act in a way that taps into our blessings, our abilities. We begin to understand the world, everything in it. And with that third eye, using our intuition, we gain wisdom. And we begin to apply that wisdom into our interactions. Apply it to how we feel about certain people, about certain situations, about the world. What we think about certain packets of information that we receive. What we think about certain people, what we think about certain scenarios. And going forward, we can use that experience coupled with our intuition to approach different scenarios in a more productive way and hope for better outcomes based on that experience. And then as we move up to being, so that ultimate consciousness with our crown chakra, that is our spiritual connection. As we align all of our chakras, the top is the connection to spirit, the connection to the universe, and the bottom is the grounding to the earth. So we have that crown chakra. And are we acting in a way that utilizes our abilities, our blessings, that utilizes our mind and how we think, feeds into our emotions productively? And are we conscious of how we act and how it affects the world, society, other people, and the universe? And hopefully, once we get through the Suit of Wands, then we can get closer to that da'at, that oneness, that perfected unity of our soul. I'm going to have a couple more videos on this. I'm going to tie in the major arcana in 2 sections and get a little bit deeper into how they apply to the Kabbalistic tree of life. And that's probably going to be a little bit deeper conversation. We'll break it into 2 parts. And you can definitely talk about the tree of life and the meanings and the interpretations and the pathways. And there are different interpretations, different placements, as I said before, of the suits, of the cards, and even of the major arcana. This is what makes the most sense to me when it's applied to the chakras and the suits of the tarot. So more to come. So if you like the video, give it a like. If you enjoy the content and you're not subscribed, do the thing. Subscribe if you want notifications. Hit the bell to get alerts when I release new material. And as always, take care of yourself and have an amazing rest of your day.